You know, there's this incredible story from an ancient text, the Durga Saptashati. And yeah, it's about a king who loses his kingdom. But the real story, the one that really matters, it's not about his crown or his castle. It's about a feeling I think we all know a little too well, a restless mind. So, right out of the gate, the story hits you with this. A king loses literally everything, but the text makes it super clear his fear wasn't what you'd expect. And that's the hook, right? It makes you lean in and go, wait, what's this really about then? Okay, so if he wasn't afraid of losing all his power or his wealth, what in the world was he so afraid of? Let's dive in and really unpack the king's real fear. I mean, on the surface, things were bad. Really bad. His whole kingdom was just gone, taken from him. Objectively speaking, he had lost everything a monarch could possibly lose. But this is where the story takes a sharp turn. That huge external catastrophe, that wasn't what was eating him alive. Nope. His suffering was coming from somewhere else entirely. It was this internal ghost, a fear that just wouldn't let him go, long after the battles were over. So what was this worry? This is where we get to the heart of his anxiety, and you're going to see how incredibly relatable and modern this all feels. And check out this contrast. It's fascinating, right? On one side, you've got the material loss, the kingdom's gone. But on the other side, his real fear was all about other people. He was obsessed with the idea that his subjects might be unhappy, or even worse, that people would misunderstand him and his entire legacy. It was a fear of perception. So when you break it down, his anxiety wasn't selfish at all, was it? He was worried about the well-being of others, terrified of being misjudged, and just stuck in this endless loop of concern for the very people he no longer ruled. Doesn't that sound just a little bit familiar? That constant worry about our impact, our reputation, what people think of us. Well, as you can probably guess, having your brain running on a hamster wheel like that 24/7, it starts to wear you down, big time. It began to take a serious toll on the king, both mentally and physically. And this wasn't just a bad day kind of thing. The text says this specific fear became a torment. It was with him constantly, from the second he woke up to the moment he tried and failed to sleep. His internal world was just chaos. There was no peace. There was no off switch. Just this relentless, churning, agitated state of being. And ultimately, the torment showed up as sleeplessness. He was completely trapped inside his own mind, unable to find even the temporary escape that sleep is supposed to offer. So here he is, at his absolute breaking point. He's been stripped of his kingdom, and now he's been robbed of his peace. King Surath finally gets it. He can't solve this on his own. He needs wisdom. So he makes a decisive move. He just walks away from what's left of his old life and goes searching for this renowned sage, Maharishi Mehta. He travels all the way to the sage's ashram with one and only one goal in mind. And there it is, the question that is the core of this entire story. He doesn't ask how to get his kingdom back. He doesn't ask for revenge. He asks the most fundamental human question there is: why is my mind not at peace? Now, what's really interesting is that the source text kind of hits the pause button right here. It teases the sage's response, but its main focus isn't really on the answer. It's on the incredible power of the question itself. The simple act of asking is the real turning point. This is exactly why this ancient story still resonates so deeply today. The king's journey, from losing everything on the outside to finally seeking answers on the inside, well, it holds up a mirror to our own lives. His question becomes our question. And so the story leaves us with this question for ourselves. What is the cause of your mind's restlessness? What's the real fear hiding behind all the surface level problems? That's the question to really think about.